Hello and welcome to Tarot Thursday. I am Reverend Mary, and with me is Reverend Brian. Hello, Brian. Glad you are back.
Hello.
You've had a busy month, I know.
Well, yeah, but we have a routine down.
Yes, we do. So, we are here to do 3-card, more or less pulls for you as you post your questions in chat. So,
Had to pull up the chat.
thank you so much for joining us. If you have a question for us, please go ahead and post it in chat. And we need to go over our rules right quick. And that is, we are not legal people. We can't comment on your pending lawsuits or any other legal matters.
Or the Supreme
We
Court.
are not.
We try.
What?
Or the Supreme Court as much as we want to.
Oh, I could comment. I live in Tennessee, if you
I was
didn't
thinking
know.
of you yesterday.
Yes, and I appreciate it. We cannot comment on, we're not medical people. We can't give health advice. And hello to Renee. Good to see you. And we cannot predict the gender of your forthcoming offspring, but congratulations. We cannot predict the outcomes of any of the ongoing conflicts, but we encourage everyone to sit down and talk through their disputes.
Sort of.
And yes. Have I hit them all?
Oh, we're not going to talk about any orange turds.
Okay.
Or his friends.
All right. I think we've covered everything. So, and it's cold. At least for those of us in the US, it's cold.
Fun fact, since you brought it up about Tennessee, the person who argued on behalf of the people of Tennessee yesterday is a friend of mine from New York.
Awesome.
So yay. And that's all we're going to talk about legal stuff because it's fun.
Yes, it is. And I'm sorry if I seem a little distracted. I'm just making sure our feed is going out where it's supposed to. And it does seem to be doing so.
It's going here, there, and, well, everywhere.
Yeah, we are working on changing over to a new platform. I've been running some tests on one, and we've had some issues with not all our feed streaming with this one. Of course, you can have a general reading, Renee.
Yes, Elvis?
And then Swack Fan has asked for what does 2025 look like for them. So you're up next. And Elvis the Tarot Kitty is around there somewhere. I saw her before we came on live.
She's over there.
Yeah, she's just off screen. She said hi. She might come back in frame.
Closer to can time.
Yes. Maybe you could teach her to do the can.
I believe she's well versed in the can. All right, here we go. Did you catch any of Lord Phoenix's dice throwing yesterday?
I did have a dice throw. Did you?
I did, and I can't find it though.
I found mine.
I have to go scrolling through. But it's there. I just gotta have some patience. Patience. First card that came up. Temperance,
All right.
which is about patience. Well, it's about a lot of things, but patience is one of them. So, Renee, whatever is giving you a great deal of discomfort, be patient. We know how I love talking about the cups, Mary.
Your favorite
Oh,
suit in the deck, Brian.
absolutely, positively not, but we are an equal opportunity reader here. So, the second card is the Ace of Cups. So, patience with your emotions. That's telling. So I would definitely say there are a lot of emotions, feel them all, but be patient with yourself. Because when you go from the 1 to the 10, there is a sense of completion, wholeness, and full circle. So I would definitely say you are having a lot of challenging emotions going on. So sorry about that. But it's for the best. Keep calm and carry on.
All right. So the first card I've got for you is the Seven of Lamps. Lamps being the fifth suit in this deck that deals with magic and spirituality. The Seven of Lamps is about releasing the past and releasing things that hold you back. So think about anything in your life that just doesn't serve you anymore and let it go. Maybe you need to do a cord cutting or some sort of ritual releasing of it. The next one I've got for you is the veil. And with the veil, again, there are hidden things. So I think there's some shadow work you need to do. Look into what is hidden and what you need to let go of. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So look for a gift of absolute luck from the universe. I can't talk tonight, folks. I've had a long day. Look for a gift of absolute luck from the universe. And that's what I've got for you. And hello to Magical Mermaid. And I agree with you, Swag Fan. I love watching Reverend Phoenix throw the dice.
Just as long as they're not at your head.
yeah,
Just saying.
yeah.
Ugh.
And then Swag Fan has asked for a reading for how does 2025 look for them?
Hey, Mary.
Yes,
It's you.
it's me, the Queen of Swords.
That's the first card for Swack Fan. Would you like to talk about yourself?
Well, the Queen of Swords, swords of communication. The Queen is communicates directly, also means in your current situations, look at what worked in the past, look at what didn't work in the past. So be guided by the past as you move into the future.
So everything Mary said is right, and the reason we asked Mary is not because I don't know this card, but because she talks about it better because it is her card. That's why we let her do it. The second card I have for you is the Star. Now the star is also about hope. So whatever has worked in the past. Be hopeful that it will work in the future. With hope, there is possibility. So I definitely feel like you're on a good path. Whatever progress you've made this year will carry on into the next one. Just, progress over perfection is like what I like to think about with the star. It's continuing the good progress that you've been making, and it's inspiring and healing as well. And then the third card I have is the Ace of Wands. What Wands is fire, it's illumination, inspiration. So whatever has been inspiring to you this year, bring that inspiration into the new year. Like, I am not a new year, new you person. It is a new chapter in a continual book that should flow as nicely as possible with a few bumps and, monsters in the way. But overall, one book, onward going. So I hope that's helpful.
All right. The first card I've got for you is the Princess of Lamps. And the Princess of Lamps is talking about spirit as seen through the lens of earth. So, this is the practical aspect of your spiritual journey. How are you using it to help yourself and others? Then I've got the past. And with the past, a lot of times we talk about letting go, but you asked for this going into next year. And what I'm feeling here is reflect a bit on 2024 as you move into 2025. What did you learn this year? And take that with you going into 2025. Release what you need to release, but take the lessons you learned. And then finally, I've got the Eight of Lamps. And the Eight is about mastery. So this is the year you're really going to master things. You're going to really step up your craft. So I hope you find that helpful. And hello to Fluffy and Janet. And Fluffy has asked for a general reading.
You came up today, Fluffy, and there is a place in Rockefeller Center just under that large Yule bush they have erected where they make dirty Dr. Peppers. Do you know what a dirty Dr. Pepper is, Mary?
Mm-mm.
It's a Dr. Pepper where they add a little coffee creamer to it, so it's a little creamy.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a fluffy sort of a drink.
Oh yeah, they're very good too. Long story short, I have suddenly had the craving for one. Unfortunately, that requires going and seeing the big illuminated bush at 30 Rock. So that will be happening at some point, probably this weekend.
And of course, Fluffy has heard about a dirty Dr. P.
I would really hope so. All right, so we're pulling cards for Fluffy, huh?
Yes, we are pulling cards for Fluffy.
When I show him this card, he's gonna laugh.
And I've had an escapee almost hit the deck.
We're going to give a little bit of something away, Fluffy. Your favorite anchovy has showed up again.
We're having a watery sort of an evening here, Brian.
Yeah, that means Fluffy's gonna get the full brunt of this anchovy. So I hope he likes anchovies with his Dr. Pepper.
I don't think that would mix well.
I don't think they go with anything, but to each their own. Ah, that makes sense. Did you see the comment from Swak fan? Swak fan?
I do.
Anchovies. Well, Fluffy, unfortunately, with the Page of Cups, your little fish there is the most important part, especially when it comes to you. We talk about this little anchovy all the time because the charmer, seducer, and lover of both the Page and the Knight of Cups says, stop batting your eyebrows at things and people and fluffy monsters that are not you. You a tease. Do less. Then we have the Chariot. And the Chariot is about, well, quick feels. So keep your head on the swivel. However, do it slowly. You're going to get some neck pain. Don't do that. However, with all of this seducing, head swiveling, you're manifesting something. So your head on the swivel is not necessarily a bad thing because you're manifesting something. However, I'm gonna pull one more card because it's you. But can I pet the fly? Yes, you can pet the flying pig. Should you choose? That's okay.
Pet the flying
He
pig.
has this deck too, and in the corner of that card is a flying pig.
Okay.
So that's why I like using this deck with Fluffies, because he knows what imagery I'm looking at. The fourth card that I pulled is the Hermit. So with all of this manifesting, there's also a level of soul searching. So I would say that whatever whatever it is that you're manifesting in the physical realm or in the land of physical realm and emotions is helpful, kind of like a muse for an artist, but be mindful of what you're manifesting safely. And that's all Brian wrote.
Wow. All right. Here's the card that jumped out. Magic.
It's white.
Yes, it's a blank slate. So, Fluffy, you can manifest anything you want to manifest. And, Fluffy, honey, you of all people know this.
That's true.
Okay. And, all right, my computer did something weird there. All right. Next card I've got is time. And this card is shown the Mayan god of time, and I just can't pronounce his name. Reverend Don can. I can't.
Oh, give me a minute. Keep going.
Anyway, in the Mayan calendar, time is seen as a cycle and it circles round and round. And what this card means is if things are going well, enjoy and put something back for the future because things won't always go well. If things are not going well, remember everything changes and things will change, and there will come to a point where things will be going better for you.
It's Sanana.
Then, thank you.
You're welcome.
Then I have the High Priestess. And this card tells us to connect with our higher selves for spiritual guidance. And finally, I've got the Four of Lamps. And this card is about working with our spirituality and digging a bit deeper. So I hope you find it helpful. All right.
I want to do
Let me
that in real life. Reading cards for Fluffy in real life is now on my bucket list.
Oh my goodness. I'm just going to show this.
I like the last sentence there.
Yes, Baxter is Fluffy's wolf stuffy companion who I'm firmly convinced is ensouled.
Yes.
I'm glad it's helpful, Fluffy. And I believe we are caught up at this point.
We is.
So we are going to pause for a word from our sponsors. Just a moment.
Ready to unlock the secrets of the universe? Join me, Reverend Don Lewis, for my metaphysical and magic auctions at Gaia Thrift at whatnot.com. Discover fascinating artifacts, mystical crystals, and rare and unusual books that could change your life. Don't miss this chance to bring a little magic into your world. Reverend Don's Metaphysical and Magic Auctions, where the extraordinary can become yours.
All right, and thank you to our sponsors. We really appreciate Reverend Dawn and oh my goodness, I have cheese brain tonight. We really appreciate Reverend Dawn and our other sponsor, whose name is you're gonna IM me and laugh at me. Equinox Learning Hub. They have an amazing school program. So, pardon the cheese brain.
I don't really like Swiss cheese, but it's extendable this time.
And Felicia has asked us for a general reading. I can still read cards. I'm just a little unclear on other general details. But I don't actually use my thinking brain for reading cards, so that's okay.
Okay. You might have to go first. We're having a bit of a sinus problem.
All right. Brian is leaving us due to sinus issues. All righty then.
Not leaving, just blowing my nose. Yes, my child.
Well, does Elvis disapprove of sinus issues?
No, I think it's about to be that time where she starts annoying us.
Oh, she's doing the can. That's what we'll call it.
Yep, she's doing the can. So, do not eat my stickers, ma'am.
Are you old enough to remember the craze for scratch and sniff stickers, Brian?
I actually own some old school scratch and sniff stickers, yes. I found them.
And Swack Fan says the commercial is so inspiring. If I had kids, I would definitely want them in this community.
You know what's the other?
Hey,
Since you brought up scratch and sniff while we shuffle, the other thing that I want is that black smelly marker that smells like licorice. I only want the black one. I don't care about the other ones. I just want the black one.
all right. We will bear that in mind.
Oh, I've
All
looked to
right.
see if they sell them solo. They do not.
So the first card I have got for you, Felicia, is the Tower. And I love the Tower card in this deck because it's not ominous looking. Here we see a woman who to me seems to have butterfly wings, who is bursting out of confinement. So the Tower card is about transformative change. A big change is coming for me, for you. The next card I've got for you is Temperance. And temperance is about taking lots of different parts and making a bigger whole. If we look at this card, we can see that the person pictured is both male and female, Caucasian and a person of color. The background is both day and night. Their crown has both sun imagery and moon imagery. So there's a lot of duality here. It's about balance and about combining lots of elements together. And finally, we have the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is about making wise decisions, communicating effectively, and making wise decisions. So I hope you find that helpful.
I do not collect
And
Trapper Keepers. I collect everything but that because my planner is very important to me.
I remember Trapper Keepers.
I remember whacking someone with a Trapper Keeper once. It's a multi-purpose item. So the first card I have is the Two of Cups, which back in our fields again. But this card is about partnership, duality, and being complementary to one another. It's not always about romance. It could be about work partnership or other two-person co-working relationships. So those I feel for you are either something that's going well or something you want to do more of. Now, if you were here earlier, you know we pulled Mary's favorite card. Well, now it's my turn. We pulled my favorite card, which is justice. Now, justice is not always about the law. Justice is about what is fair, what is equal, what is objective. So I would say in the realm of partnership that this partnership that I feel like I'm picking up on is either out of balance or slowly coming into balance amongst you both, which is something that is very important to me because I would not hang out with, oh, for instance, people like Miss Mary if there was not balance and fairness and objectiveness. I am silly. I am obnoxious. She is old and wiser than me.
Aww.
Just making sure you didn't think I was being ageist. It's about wisdom, not numbers.
I appreciate it, but I'm also silly and obnoxious.
This is true. The third card I pulled is the sun. And depending on where you live here in the United States, we are waiting for the sun to return. And so we can all sing that Beatles song and have a moment so that the clock and daylight come back to us. If you live in the southern hemisphere, well, enjoy your sunshine because we kind of want it back. Just saying. But good vibes. Hopefully being warm and radiant And in this context, with these other two cards, once everything comes into balance, everyone will be happy and successful in doing their things. So I hope that's helpful. Ma'am, you knocked my journal on the floor.
And Magical Mermaid has brought up scented erasers. Swag fan says kids these days don't know what they're missing.
Yeah.
Chalkboards are amazing. I'm going to disagree with
Mm.
chalkboards because too much chalk dust sent me into a coughing fit.
Too much.
But because
Also, I wear a lot of black clothing, so yeah, chalk dust, not so much. I love a dry
and
erase board. I love a dry erase board. I have one in my kitchen. I love that thing. Smelly erasers. Maybe it was in the 90s. They were hit or miss, much like the smelly markers. There were some you loved, some that made you want to turn green and puke.
so does anyone remember the original magic markers? The ones they took off the market.
Well, I don't even know about these. What were they?
You could literally get high
Oh,
huffing
those
these
ones.
things.
Yeah.
Anyone else old enough to remember those?
I don't know those personally, but I remember my dad telling me about them because I went through this Sharpie phase as a teenager, and my dad was like, "You don't know anything. A Sharpie does not compare to," and he would bring those ones up. So I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Oh,
Does
you have
anyone else have a
grandkids.
question?
You
Yes,
have.
I do.
Have you seen the Crayolas that come in all the skin, as many skin tones as they could figure out how to turn into ink?
I have. They
I,
are awesome.
I have the colored pencils, not the markers. They're pretty dope.
Yes, I actually uh was with Reverend Don when he picked up some markers in multiple skin tones.
Oh, I wonder if he uses the same ones I do because the whatever what the it starts with an F. This company, they do great.
Ask him.
I'll ask him. Ooh, that's
I
a good
am
question
not
for Monday.
I'm not an artist, so
I'm not either. The most.
Magical Mermaid and Janet remember the markers you could get high off of.
Ugh.
But teacher, I'll do the art project with the markers.
The other thing I've recently gotten into are these what they call Zen strips. They're like textured stickers that when you're stressed, you like scratch them. There's like ASMR going on.
Hmm.
Well, Mary sees this every week, but the most artistic thing I do every week is my planner. We love a planner on this side of the world.
We do. So, anybody else got a question for us?
Apparently, Elvis has a question, but it's not for cards.
Now, Elvis wants to know when you're going to get up off the couch and go open a can of cat food.
That part.
Hey there, Patrick. How are you? Well, I could tell the frog story.
Please do.
All right. So, over the long Thanksgiving holiday, my grandkids stayed with us. And to explain this, you have to understand that the master bedroom in my house is right next to the living room. So, my two grandkids and my sister and I are watching TV in the living room while my husband goes to take a shower in the master bath next to the living room. And suddenly he yells, "Mary, come here." I go in the master bathroom wondering, has he got a skin infection? What? He sounded kind of urgent. And he's standing there in a state of nature, pointing to a frog in our bathroom. He's like, look, there's a tree frog in our bathroom. It's November. It's 20-something degrees, and there's a frog in our bathroom. So I grab a cup off the bathroom sink, and I scoop up the frog because he can't do anything about it. He can't, go running through the living room or take it outside, scoop it up, put my hand on top of it, and I go back out. And because I'm containing the frog like this, I yell, somebody open the door. And everyone says, why? I'm like, I got a frog. Door and get out of the way. Can I see it? No, the frog's trying to get out. So
You can
and I
see
might
it as
add,
it hops out.
our dog has hunting blood in her. So the last thing I want is to lose this frog that's fighting to get out with 2 grandkids, my sister, and the dog there. Because then everyone's going to go chasing the frog. We're going to have chaos. Open the door and get out of the way. Until finally,
I want to know how the frog got in the bathroom.
I don't know. But finally, somebody gets the door open, gets out of it. Was Sissy who got the door open, got out of the way. So I run out, and I don't have a coat on. Throw the frog out in the yard and come back in and slam the door. And I know why it's in the bathroom. It's nice and warm and moist in there. I don't know how the frog got in the house. I don't know where the frog came from.
Do you have windows in your bathroom? Like, it doesn't make sense.
There is a very small window with frosted glass to let light in over the shower. It does not open. It's a non-functional window with frosted glass.
Still, frog in the bathroom.
So yeah, the frog, it could have slipped in, under a door when we had the garage door open. I don't know, but then
Yeah,
it
but
had to
Hella
get
would have known the frog came in.
I don't know. So anyway, we have a question from Pratik.
Okay.
What does the card say about my reunion with Yoyada? Alrighty. So yeah, anyone else chase a frog over Thanksgiving? Would not have had that on my list for November.
We
Not
don't
in
have frogs
Tennessee.
in New York.
Surely somewhere in New York there's a frog. Central Park.
All right, there's no frogs in this apartment building that I'm aware of.
Yeah, you're on what? The fourth frogs? Fourth floor?
Yes, I'm on the 4th floor where there are no frogs.
Fourth. I said I wasn't braining tonight. I've had a lot.
Frogs must stay warm too. So
It's been a very rough week at work, y'all. So just
Swag fan, if Hella would have discovered that frog, it would have been a wrap. A very messy wrap.
Yeah, at our old house, she chased squirrels and rabbits, but we don't have any here.
Nope. Just neighbors.
Well, I've eaten frog legs too, Swag friend, but this was a very small frog and the legs were not worth eating.
I've never been to Louisiana, but I've heard a great thing about frogs' legs, but I don't. I'm going to stick to chicken wings only. And on that note,
right.
Are
You ready? You go first.
Okay. So the first card I have is the 4 of Pentacles. So I would say definitely this reunion is going to be
Put it on screen. Show it again.
Sorry.
There we go.
There we go. The Four of Pentacles, which is about stability and control. So I feel like this reunion probably was a pricey one if there's some travel involved, but it was well worth it. Something you've been wanting for a while, so try not to think about that too much. Second card I have is the Nine of Pentacles, which again, enjoy it. It's worth having that connection. It's worth whatever resources you're using to make this reunion happen. It's all good. However, we now have the 4, the 9, and then the 5 of Pentacles. I feel like this reunion is going to bring up some past feelings of abandonment and loss, and some other maybe less than savory feelings as well. So be prepared for that. Prepare yourself in advance. Do some shadow work on, what might come up for you there. But we're gonna pull one more card because I haven't done many of that this evening, and I can, so I will.
And
Trust your
Reverend
gut.
Don,
That too. The High Priestess says to trust your intuition. So just go into it with whatever level of comfortability that you're comfortable with and enjoy it. Make the most of it. It's important to you. That's it.
all right. The first card I've got for you is the Ace of Wands. So there's a lot of passion and emotion wrapped up in this. The next card I have is the Prince of Cups. So cups are around our emotions, and with the Prince of Cups, being clear about your needs and your boundaries in this situation. And finally, I've got the Soul. So there are some lessons to be learned here. So be open to what you need to learn from this situation. And I hope that is helpful. Okay. And Swack Fan is still talking about my Thanksgiving frog. Suggest maybe the frog grew up in the sewer system, and well, that is one possibility.
Very possible.
So, ribbit. What do the cards say about my frog? Oh, no. What did the frog say? You said you like living in Minnesota, but my wife wants to move back to Louisiana, and I don't. I feel like there are no opportunities there. We go for the holidays and want to go back. What do the cards say about this situation? All righty. Let's see. Tell you what, Brian, let's split this into 2 readings. One of us do Minnesota and one of us do Louisiana.
I'll take Minnesota.
I'll take Louisiana. I like Louisiana.
I have a colleague in Minnesota. I happen to like Minnesota.
I have a feeling I would not get warm in Minnesota. I
You
like
go there for
Louisiana.
warmth. You go there for cheese curds. Oh, and tater tot casserole.
I just have a feeling that, the snowdrifts would be taller than me.
They are. You'll get used to it. You work from home anyway, so what are you worried about?
That was vicious.
I'm
True.
your size. And I don't commute. I have to actually commute, so I would not be so happy. All right. So Minnesota. Well, we just talked about the winters in Minnesota, which were very hermit-like. So, some of that cold weather's been really good for reflection, sharing your truths, hiding. You go out less. I mean, I would. However, Minnesota has also been good for change and rebirth. Like you said, you're both from Louisiana, so Minnesota is probably as far north as you've probably been for your lives living. And it's been about change and rebirth and new opportunities and new experiences for you both, which have been good. So right now we're on the stay on the Minnesota bus as far as the cards go. And the last card of this reading is the Ten of Wands. Now you talked about less opportunities. Yeah, there's a level of duty and responsibility when it comes to moving, and if there is less opportunities than in Louisiana, you feel, then Minnesota is probably where you want to be. And like I said, tater tot casserole is pretty dope, so why would you leave? That's just me. The card said the rest. The tater tot casserole is all me.
All right, so I drew for Louisiana. The first card I got is the King of Cups. And no lie, as I drew this card, I thought of Mardi Gras. The King of Cups is about enjoying your life. Next card for Louisiana is Strength. So going back there would require a lot of strength.
Oh, when I had a lot of strength for this one, Mary, I was thinking about like hometown pride.
Okay,
That's just
there is hometown pride, but what I'm getting here is the idea that there's going to be work involved if you go back. And then I've got the soul, which means there are going to be some life lessons to be learned if you go back. So, honestly, between the two readings is my sense is staying in Minnesota is probably going to be the easier path.
tater tot
So,
casserole or frog legs. The answer to me is clear.
well, frog legs, honest to God, taste like chicken. So,
Have you ever had tater tot casserole?
I have not had tater tot casserole.
You need to go find that recipe from the thing we're not going to talk about, and you need to go make some. It is the best thing in the world.
I was about to say, I'm sure I can find a recipe for tater tot casserole.
I got you.
All righty. Does anyone else have a question for us? Of course, realizing that I'm working on losing weight, I'm limiting my carbs, and you're dangling tater tot casserole in front of me.
It's the holidays.
That's why it's important to limit my carbs.
That's what cheat day's for. Everything in moderation. You gotta.
And Swat Fan makes
That
Creole
sounds even
tater
better.
tot casserole, which honest to God sounds incredible.
Actually, do you know what's good? Creole seasoning on some cottage cheese. Really good.
Yeah, I generally put pepper on cottage cheese. And Swamp Fan says, Rev Mary, I'm a trainer. Yeah, but I'm in Tennessee and you're in Minnesota, so this seems to be a little less than useful.
I think SWAT fan is on my side of everything in moderation. So a little casserole ain't gonna kill you.
All
And the
right. So
recipe is sitting in your messenger for further review.
I just saw it pop up. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. We are coming to the end of the hour. Does anyone else have a question for us?
Elvis
Or a comment on frogs?
or tater tots. Your preferences on potatoed things. Whatever floats your boat.
I mean, I love potatoes. Quite possibly, if I didn't love potatoes so much, I never would have gotten type 2 diabetes. Let's be honest here.
Sweet potatoes can be subbed for regular potatoes just as good.
All right. Does anyone else want to hear another fun story? Due to my daughter, I can't eat sweet potatoes. Why? Because when I was pregnant with her, I got pregnancy nausea right after eating sweet potatoes. To this day, it's gotten better. I can tolerate them better now. But the
Okay.
funny part was, I just never made them because I would eat them and feel nauseous.
Oh, you know what
So,
you might be able to use instead of potatoes?
oh, you interrupted my story, Brian.
Oh.
We were invited to someone's house for Thanksgiving when she was about 7 or so, and they asked her if she wanted to try some sweet potato casserole. And she said, think I've ever had it. And I said, try it, honey. You might like it. Because our rule was always try everything with an open mind. And she took a bite and she said, no, thank you. I don't care for any. And on our way home, she said, Mommy, when I took a bite, I felt like I was going to throw up. I'm like, well, you're the reason I can't eat it.
So maybe in utero, she was letting you know she didn't have a taste for these things.
Apparently she was, because I used to love it.
Yep.
And Swag Fan says type 2 diabetes is reversible, and that's what I'm working on, reversing it.
Cauliflower.
Yeah, I do eat a lot of cauliflower.
You can make cauliflower tots.
I'm not sure about cauliflower tots, but I do have a couple of really good recipes for cauliflower.
You roast the cauliflower and treat it like you would the tater tots in the hot dish.
Mm-hmm.
It works. That's how I've found my bearish figure again.
I love that.
All right. I think Elvis is telling me it's time for us to be did.
Hey, SWAT fan, I appreciate the offer. We will connect, okay? And since no one else is posting questions and Elvis is harassing my bro Brian, we will close out. So thank you everyone for joining us, and please come back next week for Tarot Thursday. My guest will be Reverend Don Lewis, who created the Tarot of Hecate I read with.
I won't be back till the following week.
Yes, so thanks again, everyone. Have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world.